So many gridirons, so little time. This is the Super Bowl. This is it, the final stage of the season. As you can see, the city of Boston, absolutely unbelievable. It's all ahead on Football Fridays in Georgia Inside Edition, live on GPB. The Patriots will hit the road as they look to advance to 3-1 with a win over the Kansas City Chiefs in a primetime matchup on Monday night. I'm Jackie Brittain, and here are the storylines this week. Well, you know, I've had to remind myself that this kid is only a junior. Yep. He still has 2 years left of high school football, and you know, there's so much hype around him and where he'll play college football, and he's put it out there on Twitter. You know, his top two are Clemson and Georgia. But my question is, guys, why the rush? I mean, you got 2 years left. Is it really that big of a deal? You want to get it behind you this early on? I mean, so much could change at both of those programs in 2 years. How aware does your defense have to be not only of Joe Flacco, Torrey Smith, and all those guys, but Justin Tucker, their kicker, and just keeping him out of the field goal range that you know he's capable of? And speaking of this rivalry, this week I had a chance to chat with both head coaches. Both of them used to play at each one of these schools, but now that they're professionals and coaching in this big game, they'll still tell you this is the biggest game on the schedule. I'll have more on the rivalry coming up in just a bit. Norcross receiver Isaiah McCoy on a 27-yard touchdown pass. There's Barron Radcliffe, throws it just in the nick of time, and he's able to get into the end zone right before the defender takes him down. So that is the GPB play of the night. This is McCoy's first touchdown of the season, and this sent the score to 27-7. See, that's how we operate. The no huddle works better. All right, his career moment.
When they won the 8th grade championship.
Okay, Mom is totally leading right now. The Lombardi Trophy is on Brady's butt. How did that happen? I think it was a toss-up for whose hair is longer, although
I was going to say, you were going to say the best hair.
You
What?
jinxed him, by the way.
No, I didn't mean to do that. No, I didn't mean to do that. But you know, when I did talk to his coach, Tim Hardy, he talked about just the mental disposition of this quarterback, just how he's grown the most in his mental game and how much that's helped him just be a better quarterback and be more poised. First, we are going to send things over to John Nelson, who is standing alongside the head coach of the Parkview Panthers, Eric Godfrey. And John, you might need to remind him, he's not playing in this game. He was pretty excited about it, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of live TV, we've been talking about it, so now we're going to actually show you. I'm going to take you on a little behind-the-scenes tour of our studios here at GPB. And as I said, we get all of the internet feeds from the schools, and they all are brought here, and we catch them, and we have an entire army of people back here in our control room looking at the plays, putting all of it on the air for you to see. Something that started a few years ago was the joint press conferences with the head coaches. Now you've got Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick on the same stage. You might be a little weary of how that would go, but it was very interesting to see the two of them interacting, sharing some laughs on the big stage, because can't imagine that will be the case on Sunday's big stage. Steve. It's not uncommon to see a lot of football players have a background in baseball, but what is phenomenal and pretty rare is to be so good at both that you kind of get to pick wherever you want to go. Radcliffe had offers for football from Vanderbilt, Georgia Southern, and Tulane, but his love for baseball trumped even those, guys. Coach Robinson of MCA said that he got his team here yesterday. He wanted them in the building. He wanted them to see what it's like to just be under the bright lights that is known as the Georgia Dome. And the Komatsu key of the game for Allatoona, it's all about slowing down Trevor Lawrence. This is a guy that you can't go into this and think that you're going to stop him. He's too good for that. You got to find a way to slow him down and contain him. Oh, there's no doubt. There's a lot to get to in this game. And you look at both of these teams, especially both of their schedules lately, they've been able to put a lot of points on the board. So you look at them and you think, hey, two high-profile offenses. But you know what happens in games like these? The rivalry is so big that anything goes. It's pretty
Sometimes defense steps up.
That's
you never
right.
know.
Anything goes. You never know.
He has the fire,
Go, Sheldon!
the energy,
Touchdown!
and the voice that makes the crowd go wild every Friday night. He's been the announcer for the Hornets for 18 years now, thanks to his good friend and former Roswell head coach, Tim McFarland.
Tim and I were really close and still are. He's just a tremendous friend of our families. And, you know, and I guess he had just saw something in me. I don't think there was anything specific he never said. He just said, but, you know, why don't you try it? You know, would you like to try it? And I said, sure, I'll give it a whirl.
Every announcer has his shtick, and this is Dave's.
1st and 10 Hornets!
It just sort of happened. You know, I get so excited up in the press box, and like I said, the butterflies start going, and it just kind of came out.
1st and 10 Hornets!
Dave is passionate, and many of us can relate to that emotion when watching a game we're invested in. Let's be honest, we all have our moments when the love of the game gets the best of us. For Dave, that moment came during his son Tommy's game.
He was playing and I was announcing, and we had this crazy microphone and it wouldn't work. I guess I left it on and he did something stupid and I said, blankety blank Tommy, over the air. I was in the doghouse a long time for that.
Oh, really?
So my wife Robin said, well, it might be a good idea if you just watch Tommy in the stands and not announce his game. So yeah, I took some time off after that.
But now, the moments of watching Tommy on the field are more than a memory or a funny story from the past. Tommy passed away 10 years ago in a tragic accident, but he isn't forgotten because, like I said, football is family, and the community of Roswell came together in his honor. There's a memorial in his name and 3 scholarships.
The school has been wonderful to us. They have there's a pavilion outside that has a memorial to him. They named the pavilion after him. And Robin and I, my wife, we raised money for a scholarship that we give to a senior here at Roswell High School and at Kennesaw, where he went to school. And our track coach, Andy Schultz, takes money out of his budget to provide a scholarship for his name. So there's 3 scholarships that honor his memory.
And every Friday, Dave pays tribute to his late son.
So you come here before every game?
Come here, spend a few moments with him, and then head up to the press box.
How does it make you feel to see all the love and support?
Just wonder. I mean, it's part of the greatness of being at this school.
Every single season brings new memories and amazing moments, but none will surpass his favorite.
There's so many magical moments. I guess I could call upon when my son was playing. Tommy just happened to be the captain, and it was against the arch rival Milton, so it was a big deal. And he led the team in tackles that night, so that was really magical.
Calling the games is so much more than a job. It's how he connects with Tommy, and his pure love of the game radiates into the hearts of the community every Friday night.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, it is a lot of fun, believe me, because there's about a million other things that I could be doing on Friday night besides, spending all that time at the stadium, at the school, doing that. And it is so much fun.
King is good.